Here we are, the end of module 1, which is pretty exciting. For some, this might be review on triggers, window of tolerance, even emotions and what they mean. For others, it's brand new stuff, and it can be a lot, and it can be just a lot to process and go through. So whatever it is, wherever you are, it's exactly where you're supposed to be. That's why we don't look at other people and compare ourselves to other people, because we're all on an individual, precious, rewarding journey. So no matter where you are at the end of module 1, you can go back and do the module again. That's why it's self-paced program. That's why you can bounce around in the program wherever you want to, wherever it feels right for you. So that focus and awareness of what is right for you is where you really want to maintain attention. Nowhere else. Don't worry about anybody else. It's all good. It's all magnificent. And we even say in this work, slow is fast. So if you think you're not going fast enough, take it from me. I had parts in my inner system that kept saying that we should be further. We should know this already. Believe me, when it happens for you, it happens, and a lot of times like a domino effect. So that's why we say slow is fast, because the gold nugget in that topic is going at a slow pace and building trust in your inner system, in your subconscious mind, in your body, especially in module 1. Subtly under the surface, beneath the surface, it has been a consistent, and you'll see it if you go back and look, it's been a consistent focus of safety, awareness, slowness, pause for the cause, have grace for yourself. When there are ruptures, there are going to be ruptures. We all do them. I just did one yesterday. We still do it in life. But we are learning and growing in how we handle that and reconnect with ourselves, reconnect with others, reconnect with our community, reconnect with the world. That's where we're going. So use the workbook that is in the free school learning platform. All the worksheets and the workbooks and the class notes and everything will be in each module. And even the pause, the reflection inward, noticing what emotions come up, where in the body triggers first show up. Mine was that rapid heartbeat. Ooh, like as soon as it started, I knew 0.2 seconds. I had 0.2 seconds to remove myself. I had to remove myself from whatever the trigger was. A TV commercial, a conversation, an event, a Zoom call. It was worth it.
I'll share.
Yeah.
I have noticed a few times, I haven't figured out exactly what the trigger is necessarily, but a few times where, I had the rapid heartbeat and, my chest was feeling a bit tight, and where that's happened before and it's gone on for an extended period of time, and I didn't necessarily have the tools or know what to do or to just stop and pause. And the few times that has happened, because I think we're just, we're bringing things up, we're moving through it, having that having that tool in my toolbox has helped me get through it in a matter of minutes, versus I've let that feeling go on for hours and I feel panicked all day. So that's been my experience with it. So it's been good.
Yeah, great. Thanks for sharing. And what a huge shift that is because I mean, there were things I would be triggered with. It would knock me out for a day, maybe more than a day. And I was like you, I would have panic, I would have emotional overwhelm, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I'm really happy to hear that this module has helped you shift in knowing now what to do with it, to embrace it and use it for further self-discovery. It's self-exploration here. Yeah, Diana.
So I'm much more aware of my trigger points and breathing. And then the other day, I was quite angry. And I made a conscious choice, though, to go with it. But at least it was a conscious choice. I wasn't just yelling or just whatever. I just had something to say. And it felt like I knew if I said it, it would be done. It was that situation, and it felt strongly that part of me wanted to express that out, and quite actively. And so, but so that would be a little different. I wasn't always trying to stop it and cause myself even more contraction in my body. And I didn't want to leave. So that's okay, I guess, on the road to enlightenment, that I just made that choice.
I love what you point out there, that it was a conscious choice. So you were aware of that coming in and taking over, and then you were aware of permitting it to happen. So really good. I really am thankful that you brought that up, that awareness is helping in that window of tolerance to decide how you're going to proceed. Now, after the next module, you might make a different decision, because in the next module, I teach you about the inner system, what parts in your subconscious are blending on top of you and taking over, even though a part of you allowed it. I teach you in the next module how to speak for the part, not from the part.
Oh, cool. Okay, great. That's a great distinction. Thank you.
But a great stepping stone in that process.
Mhm.
And that's why I start with triggers. Number one, that's what's ruling our life, and bringing those protector parts in and taking over our behavior. So that awareness is really the first step. And it's gold. It's a treasure map. In fact, this morning I just added to the platform a treasure map for finding the unmet needs underneath complaints. So we are taught and programmed by everything, society, schools, religions, just everything, of how we're supposed to behave and please other people and suppress those emotions. So this is all a process with learning to slow down, be aware of the trigger, aware of the emotions, and then start down that path of self-discovery, self-exploration, what's underneath the emotions. They're not just here by chance, just to make life difficult. Life is actually supposed to be enjoyable, if you can believe that. I am living proof. It is enjoyable. It used to be a constant struggle, constant emotional overwhelm, constant being knocked out for a day or a couple of days because of emotions. And this brings me to a really important point. Even joy can be a trigger. Even happiness can be a trigger. So it's not just about, quote, negative emotions. It's about emotions and what causes that surge inside of our body and our thoughts that goes along with that. I used to be triggered by things going well. Whoa, things are going well. Something's going to happen.
I
Something
had that
bad's
too, Christine. Yeah.
That's a
time.
trigger. Mhm. And that is a conditioned response. Like we talked in, I want to say class 2, week 2, that's the conditional programming. That's a conditioned response. In the household that I grew up in, things only went well for a very short amount of time. So if there was any kind of elongated time period where things were going well, I knew, it was going to hit the fan here soon enough. And remember, in the perception class, our brain uses past experiences to try to predict the future. So our brain is perceiving reality in the present moment and filling in bits and pieces from those core beliefs. It's only going to go well so long. The other shoe's going to drop. Something's going to happen. Something bad's going to happen. The core beliefs from the subconscious mind are filling that in to confirm that bias. So even though I'm all grown up and it's been, 40 years since that scenario, the brain is still programmed in that, it's like a computer program. It's like, way back in, well, some of you won't remember this, but way back in like DOS and programming like WordPerfect with the tables and stuff. It was very difficult, where we now just have the icons and the pictures that we can just pick. The brain does not know that the program has been updated or that update is even available. It doesn't know it's for sale at Staples. It's still back in, DOS times where you had to, type out the commands at the DOS prompt in the computer system. So any emotion can be a trigger. Even things going well in life, I would be in romantic relationships and things would be going well. Oh, I'd find something wrong. Oh, I'd start nitpicking something, find something wrong, because we have to have this conflict and this drama. Because the subconscious mind, number one, was confirming that bias that all relationships are awful and toxic and abusive. And that's just part of it. So the brain's trying to confirm that bias, but it wants that scenario to play out so that it then can actually predict what's going to happen, because it knows how to handle abuse and toxicity and drama. It doesn't know how to handle calmness, peace. So it keeps creating those scenarios. That's why it's also so difficult to step out of our comfort zone.
It's homeostasis, I think, is what it's called. We think that's our normal.
Yeah.
We're
So
comfortable.
right. So homeostasis means balance, right?
Yeah.
So our inner system, our subconscious mind, wants to be balanced. But that emotional surge coming up from the buried core beliefs is what's causing that surge of emotion in the inner system that makes it unbalanced. Yeah. Oh, you got balloons.
That's kind of cool.
Isn't that cute?
Anyway, that could be a state changer. So it would be this: if when we have a traumatic life, a past, then our comfort zone is really in the trauma. It's not. That's a question, pretty much. It's not in the joy and the happiness. So again, our subconscious mind is going to have us make choices that will keep us in the trauma, but we have a sense of safety. Wow, I never thought about that. So in a sense, could there be a sense of safety within the depth of the trauma?
There's a sense of knowingness in the trauma.
Okay.
Certainty. There's a sense of certainty in the trauma.
Good.
It's
Okay.
not safe, but our protector parts in our inner system, and we'll get more into this in module 2, our protector parts know how to react, behave when it's unsafe. And it doesn't have to be in a, just a big T trauma that you grew up in. So here's another example. In my house where I'm being raised, I'm being programmed that you should never be really relaxing. You should always be working, always be doing something. If you're not doing something, or if you're having fun, then there's something that's not done. So you better go find something to do because you weren't allowed to be. So you wouldn't look at that as trauma, right? That's the primary caregivers projecting onto the child and into the household how they're programmed. But it still creates a comfort zone and a level of certainty. So I had to learn that it was okay to slow down. So if you're not getting that in this first module yet, it's okay. Believe me, it took me a long time. It took me a while to be able to sit and watch a movie for 2 hours. It took me time to be able to sit on my front porch, on my swing, and just be for even 5 or 10 minutes, because I would get this emotional surge of anxiousness. Oh, I'm forgetting to do something. There has to be something I'm forgetting to do. What is that? So that is the inner system trying to create the outer world based on the inner core beliefs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, very much so.
And that's why it's so hard to, quote, break habits or to step out of our comfort zone, because it feels awful. Even though it's better for us, it feels awful in our body. We have that conditioning, that programming in our body with body sensations that emerge when any circumstance is out of line of the core beliefs that are underneath the emotions. And that's why it's a treasure map, because we peer into, why do I feel anxious right now in this moment? Why I'm sitting on my porch swing and I have this anxiousness. It's like it's almost breaking me out into like a cold sweat. Why is this reaction in my body right now? And sometimes I could sit for a moment, and sometimes I'm like, I just got to get up and do something. I always got to be doing something. Wash the dishes by hand. Don't use the dishwasher if that's what I have to do. So it takes time to kind of inch out of the comfort zone into new territory, even when it's healthy new territory.
I recently read something that said in order to grow, we have to consciously give up the struggle to remain the same.
Just do parts work. Just do module 2.
But I think it's the same thing. Like we just have to give up the struggle, like what you're saying, giving up the struggle to want to stay in the familiar, stay in the comfort, just to give it up.
So here's the thing. I do believe, and this is where I am a little bit controversial, but I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm not going to tiptoe and dance around anything. I'm going to give it to you straight. I do believe that we have the capability of making a choice and stepping from point A to point B. Stepping into a new way of thinking, new core beliefs.
Yeah.
Because it really is like a computer program that we're upgrading. I believe it's possible. I could not do it. I could not do it with 10 years of meditating. I could not do it with a master's degree or with all kinds of relationships that I tried, all kinds of field research that I did. I couldn't do it. I believe it's possible. And if it's possible, by all means, rapidly evolve your life in that manner. Absolutely. But when people write quotes like that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, let me take a look at your life for a second. Let me see what patterns are repeating in your life. Let me see what you're suppressing or burying that you're not dealing with.
Mm.
Let's get real, because it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I created this program. I didn't have anybody holding my hand for 16 years. And I was boing, 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 boing. Oh, try this quote, try these affirmations, try this, spirituality, try this rage, it was meant to happen that way for me so that I could be here meeting everybody exactly where you are. There are very few events in my life that I cannot meet somebody where they are. And now I'm very grateful for that. That was just part of my journey.
Mm-hmm.
This program was created to help be with you along the way. Do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. I'm here to ask questions. I will tell you stuff that happened in my life if it's relevant. We have the community where other people can share and ask questions too. And there's growth in that too. There's healing in those connections there too. But to just say we can consciously make the decision to just step into point B. Yeah, we can.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
If I could, I would never have had my journey and I wouldn't be here helping any of you.